Today's video is on disassembly and reassembly of a Ruger Mark II. This is Mark II target. There's lots of Mark IIs out there. The Mark I 22 pistol was the pistol that launched Ruger. It was their first pistol. That's what Sturm Ruger originally produced and mail ordered pistols. They went on from there. Current production is the Mark III. Magazine release has moved. There's a loaded cartridge indicator. I can only speculate on what else changed. So first thing you want to do is a safety check, because you've got to pull the trigger to disassemble this. But anyway, you don't want to be cleaning a loaded gun, period. So you've got no ammo in the chamber, no magazine. So first thing you do, drop the trigger. Now, I like to use a paper clip. Paper clip is my preferred tool to open up this assembly here. Slide the paper clip over, pull, and you can pull that piece out. If you want to hold on to the paper clip with pliers, that's fine. Next thing, there is a pin back here. And so you are going to pull down hard on this assembly to pull the pin out, and the pin was located like that. Got to watch out because there's a hammer strut back in here. I'll see if I can get a good shot. Hammer strut is that vertical piece . So if that hammer strut falls, and I'm going to, so that it touches the pin that's running horizontally, and I'll pull out the bolt, and now we're stuck. All you got to do is turn the gun, pull the trigger again, and that hammer strut will fall free, and then you're free to remove the bolt. Second thing you might want is a small mallet or plastic faced hammer. Nothing that's going to dent the metal of the gun. And you are going to tap gently on the back side of the receiver, and the barrel receiver will come off, leaving you with the handle. You can see here this piece slides up here into this keyed hole. So, and now you have taken apart your Ruger. You've got your receiver, your barrel, your bolt, and your grip. So I don't really do anything else with the grip except maybe add target handguards. A couple of screws, very easy to do. With the bolt, you can further disassemble it. Again, paper clip comes in handy. Fold out a leg of the paper clip, push out this pin, pull out the spring. With the pin out, the firing pin will come out along with a spring and this little guy. So if you want, you can detail clean this assembly. And then you want to put it back together. The finger, this piece sits in the bolt here. This is your firing pin retainer spring. The firing pin drops in here. Once the firing pin is flush, more or less flush, then this pin will slide in. There you go. And this is your spring, your main spring. That slides in, and then you need to make sure to click that over into place. So there we go. Bolts back together. I find that it's in here that you really need to clean. You can shoot this pistol until you get enough powder residue built up inside of here that the bolt doesn't cycle reliably. So pull it out, clean the bolt, clean inside the receiver. There you see the integral feed ramp for the receiver. This is the groove that the extractor goes in. You can clean, you'll build up gunk in there. Clean that out. You can wipe down the inside of here. So where the trigger, front of the trigger, back of the trigger. This is the hammer, this piece here, and this is the hammer strut. This is the part that you got to worry about when you reassemble this. So you got to get the hammer strut down and the hammer back. If you don't pull the trigger when you're wiping this down, you're fine. Otherwise, you're going to have to worry about it. So to reassemble, take and push this back into position. And you're going to have to push hard. The gun will loosen up a bit. You might have to tap with the mallet. If you're going to tap with the mallet, you got to be real careful because you're tapping on the muzzle. You don't want to screw up the muzzle. Now, the hammer's got to be laying down, and you want the strut. You want the strut down where, so that the bolt will slide in place. So, slide the bolt back in. Pull the trigger. Hold the gun. So gravity's pointed down. Pull the trigger so the hammer falls down. Then take, and you're going to reinstall this piece. Again, you're going to have to push hard to clear that spring. There's a click. Now, here's the part that is the real trick. See this hammer strut? The hammer strut needs to fall on this piece here. We got 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. The hammer strut needs to line up with the third to be properly aligned. So this here is proper alignment with the hammer strut in the third position, or in the middle position. And now you just fold this forward and drop your lever. It's very easy to tell if it doesn't work because the hammer will not, the bolt will not cock. If the bolt doesn't go back and the hammer doesn't drop, then you didn't get the hammer strut in right. So, simple as that. Very easy to do otherwise. Nice trigger pull on this one. This is target model. I've never held any. This is the only Mark II I've ever shot, but this gun is great. Great trigger. You can shoot 300 rounds through it before you need to clean it. Yeah, it's very cost effective because it shoots 22 ammo, and yeah, highly recommend it. So there you go, disassembly and reassembly of the Ruger Mark II pistol.